Sanibonani Dimelang, you are tuned into the dose of Phumzilechili Mapasam Katsani. Mfazi wabela matena mangeni koma ngavulula vulutsa mfazi msutsu sakanoluka chili Mapasam Katsani. Kalongwane. If you're new here, get hello, hello, and hello. And if you're returning, get namayini pasayami namayini njayami. Yizo lazy, you are on the right channel. If you're new, don't forget to click on that subscribe button so that we can be together and grow this beautifully intimate family so it can be intimately big. Okay, sweetie? And whether you're new or old, don't forget to click on that like button so that the algorithm can suggest the video to other people and they can find me the same way you found me. And don't forget to comment so we can document the journey. And remember who we were with when we were at 400 subscribers, when we were at 400 billion subscribers. Manifesting, manifesting, manifesting. So you guys, today's the 26th of September. You guys are definitely going to see this on the 27th of September. And it's my birthday. I'm turning 26 on the 26th. Halala, 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 mucha. So today's my birthday. I'm celebrating my little birthday with a little cake, some wine. And I have some mint water right here because it's about to be a mukbang story time situation. So today's story time is about how pregnancy affected my life, both mentally, financially, psychologically, emotionally, even physically, you know. So I'm going to tell you guys the story of how it affected me, not the story of what happened throughout the process of my pregnancy. If you want to see that, I'm going to link the video that I spoke about my pregnancy, how I found out and how the journey was in one of my videos. So I'm going to link that video in the description box and then you guys can check that out. But today I just want to talk about how it affected me and changed my life. So this is the cake that I'm having. I'm going to have my first bite. Guys, very nice. One thing about me, I don't like cake that has icing. No. Not my kind of thing. And I love chocolate cake. So it's a me thing, right? Anyway, to start the story, guys, I'm going to take it from a couple of months before I found out, right? So I have a 3-year-old. I'm a single mom. Like single financially, single emotionally, single in every single way. I'm a single mother, right? I'm literally doing everything in regards to my son. Like, he's literally dependent on me. About how many dependents do you have? Literally, his dad is a dependent on me and solely on me, right? So, a couple of months before I found out I was pregnant, I was living in Braamfontein, right? And moving to Braamfontein was very lonely in the beginning because I left all of my friends in Auckland Park and I had to move. It's a life change. I mean, I was at Wits, and the whole time I was at AFDA, and if you've been to AFDA and to Wits, you'll know it's a culture change, lifestyle change. The theory at Wits is not the same as the practical work at AFDA, you know? Things are not the same in every sense, right? So I started getting a little bit depressed because now I was introduced to a different realm because the whole time I was doing BA live performances. So I was doing BA live performances, and then when I got to Wits, I started doing my honors in film and television, right? Cool stuff, different world, culture shock. It's crazy, right? Auckland Park is a bit busy, but it's not the same as Bram. Like, everything is so fast, right? So sharp, I moved to Bram. I barely know anyone. A lot of people were staying in my building because I was staying at a South Point. A lot of people were staying in my building, either in first or second year. The oldest people are during their final year in their degrees. Some are in 4th year and some it's in 3rd year, knowing which the degrees are, like, they end at different years. So I felt a little bit older as well. Like, I felt it was snacks, dog, you know? Because also the people around me were pretty young and, like, they had a different mindset to the mindset that I had at the time. Sharp. And also I'm one person who matures really quickly for my age, you know, how I think, how I do things and all of that. Okay. So I'm a little bit depressed. I just finished my internship with the Market Theatre. My hair is purple, Just finished my internship with the Market Theatre. I'm now doing my internship with Black Brains for Wardrobe, right? Okay. Then we close at Black Brain. So mentally, I'm in a mental state where I'm thinking, okay, I just finished my internship with Black Brain. I'm hoping Uguti, the head of department, really like me so that next year she suggests that they call me back, right? Sharp. So that's my thinking right there. It's now December. So a friend of mine and I moved to Newtown. For story's sake, I'm gonna call her Sharon. Sharon and I moved to Newtown to go stay there together, and it's a whole thing. Sharp. Sharon and I start staying there. We're living together. I'm barely there. You know, it's December. I go back home. She's from KZN, so it was a little bit more far. So I went back home, and she had like a piece job. So I wasn't working. I was just merely a student. Go back home January. So the whole of December, we're just drinking. We're having fun. You know, we're chilling. We're enjoying life. Sharp. January. I'm going back to my apartment. Nothing of that sort. So 16th December, I went back to test if I was pregnant. I found out I wasn't pregnant, right? Then she was like, girl, when are you pregnant? It made me super angry. I don't know if the hormones had already like started kicking in, but it made me very angry. It would say, how dare you think I'm pregnant? Do you want my life to get ruined? But like that was something that was happening internally. Externally, I was just like, when I'm a you know, type of thing. Sharp. Then January, him lawyer, fill in the forms for my bursary, get the bursary. Things are great, you know. You know, things are looking good. Just got an apartment. We're living in a 2-bedroom. I have my own bedroom. I have my bursary. I'm not far from school. Literally taxi from my place to school is 5 rand. Uber 20 rand. I mean, it's a dream, right? Okay, sharp. Him lawyer. I'm living my best life. January, February. I find out, no, babes, you are pregnant. My life changed immediately, right? My life changed in a sense where when I found out I was with my mom, the first thought I had was, how could you do this to me, God? You know? I was hurt by God allowing that to happen, which was very hypocritical because I was exercising things of having ingani, but I didn't want God to give me ingani. How does that work? You know? I was asking him questions such as, but we has with ingani fuda in a marital setup. Because I grew up without a father and I know the pain of growing up without a father. I actually wanted to be in a setup where, you know, baba, you know, like, I mean, you know, baba ingani, you know, and ingani grows up in a family that is a fully fledged family with a father, a mother, probably siblings if that's God's will, you know? So I was pissed. I was hurt. I was disappointed in God. But also like double standards because I'm doing things of people who are married and I'm not married. I'm doing things that could potentially bring me a kid and I don't want a kid, right? Sharp. Get home. I'm still crying. Call the baby daddy. Not the most supportive person at the time. I wasn't expecting him to say, Yazin, I'm gonna buy your car, you know, let's get married and whatever. We had already broken up. So I was expecting him to at least say, you know what, dude, I know right now you're confused as hell, but we'll figure it out together. In that phone call, the first thing I found out was, you know, homeboy has a child. The child is not even a year old yet. Homeboy is with the baby mama. Homeboy lives with the baby mama back home. And I'm like, why was all of this information not mentioned? But today we're not talking about him. Because I don't want to tarnish his name. I don't know how life is going to pan out. Nini wants to have a relationship with the dad. And based on my one YouTube video where I just went in on him, Ingani is now judging him. So I don't want to do that. I don't want to demolish his name or character. Because and I understand that as people, we make mistakes in different seasons. So very early in the relationship, or rather in the pregnancy, I figured it out after talking to him. No, but homeboy and I were just meant to come together, make a kid, and then move on, right? Which I'm grateful for till today because I'm not here sitting wondering what if we get back together. I understand the mandate, we fulfill the mandate, and then we go, you know, we are moving, right? Okay. I mean, for me, blended families was not something that was on my mind, that I was thinking about. I literally just thought, move on, right? Okay, cool. So that's the first mental breakdown that I have. Second hit on my mental health was the fact that my whole life is about to change. So I moved from Auckland Park to Brum and I felt like I lost everything and everyone who who was close to me. Yes, I made new friends, but there's something about like that nostalgic kind of like friendship and squad and, you know, group of people that you feel like now I'm losing that particular point. Not only am I losing a group of friends and people who have now become familiarity. Wow, guys, familiarity is the why for me. But I've also lost the setup as far as like academics are concerned. You know, it's a shift in every situation and in everything. Just as I was adjusting, there's another shift, right? So now I'm in isolation. I'm back home, and the one thing that was weird was that every time I had to go back to Joburg, I couldn't. I just wanted to be at home for some odd reason. So because of like that whole thing of having doubts and having fears of losing this one part of you that you feel like defines you, I'm now at a point where I found myself paying for the entire year. And I moved out, not really moved out, but I left Joburg in February. I paid up until December for my apartment, in that thing of hoping, you know, things will become alright, things will get back into place and all of that. But because it never happened, I had to stay a whole year paying for that apartment, close to 3K every month, hoping guys, something will happen and I'll go back to that apartment. So that's the second knock on me. Culture change, lifestyle change. Now I've been woken up to certain things. I have to change all of that and let it go, right? Third thing, for me, my whole entire life, I thought career, the particular career that I chose, was based in Joburg. You know, if you want to prosper in this particular career line, then you have to be in Joburg. You know, auditions are in Joburg, shoots are in Joburg. Everything is, agencies are in Joburg. You know, people leave Cape Town, KZN, and everywhere to come to Joburg. So now I must leave Joburg and come back home. It means I'm not going to be able to work, right? So these are my thoughts. So now number 3 is not only the fact that I have to change my entire lifestyle. I have to be there for a child that is out of a marital setting. And for me, being outside of a marital setting meant that I have to be the sole priority. What's the word? The sole person who's there for the child. No doesn't matter how I feel, I have to be there for Ingani, you know? Yes, I might have my mother, I might have my brother as the uncle, but me, now I'm that number 1, right? I'm the parent. You know how we are with parents. You know? So that was the other kick. So now number 3 is the fact that now I am super stressed about the fact that my career is going downhill, right? So I'm stressing about that part. I'm like, how do I move forward? How do I create a career that is sustainable for me while I raise my kid? So for me, in my mind, I thought, you know what? I'm just going to give birth to the child and then go back to Joburg, you know? I'll find a nanny. I'll figure it out, you know? Reality is like, no, none of that, right? So that doesn't happen, which means I'm dropping even further into this hole, right? I'm stressing. I took off real quick, you know? I snap real quick, you know? I'm angry at the people around me, at the things around me. And I go so deep in that any person who resembles some form of love that I felt in the past, I want to keep. No matter what it means, I want to keep them because they are giving me that whole nostalgic feeling of being loved in that way that I haven't felt love in that particular way, right? To a point where now I stopped giving to myself. To a point where I wanted to receive everything that I should be giving to myself from other people. I wanted other people to give me self-love, if that makes sense. So I wanted affirmation also from other people. I wanted care from other people because I couldn't take time away from my child and say, you know what, this is time for me. What does Pumi like? Who is Pumi post birth? You know, who is Pumi as a mom? Who is Pumi now that her life has shifted in the way that it has shifted? And it's when, guys, Njolo will jolts you, right? It's in one of the relationships that I've been in, and it's not really a relationship, it's just like a pitch job, you know? So it was someone who was chatting with and spending my time with that I found out, no, babes, no, You can't constantly wait for other people to give you what you should be giving to yourself. And in that topic, in that situation, in that chat, that's when I found out about no, babes. No, 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 no. Not gonna happen. You have to give to yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to be there for yourself. You are responsible for the mere fact that and for you to find all of those things, you need to find who you are right now in the modern day, post everything that you have undergone, right? And I started redefining myself. I started finding myself post all of that, how can I then create where I am? How can I then become where I am? But that journey had to start with the fact that I had to accept the fact that I was depressed. I had to accept that anxiety had kicked in like crazy. I was anxious as a rat in front of a cat. I was very anxious. I was very stressed. I didn't know what direction my life was taking, how I was going to arrive where I'd like to be, how I'm going to do particular things, how must I love myself, how must I give to myself in this particular area that I'm in. Because me, the whole concept was, no, is in Joburg, is in Joburg, my career is in Joburg, my friends are in Joburg, my life is in Joburg, freedom is in Joburg. Here was just me coming to pay my I don't know what to call them, just to come to say to the family, hello, I see y'all, we're together, we are family and we love one another, right? But when God really wants to work with you, he takes you back to the basics. He isolates you. He literally works with you just to discover certain things that you were shielding off, you were just closing up because of whatever that you had undergone. So God had to open me up, work with me, sit with me. And for me, I felt like I wasn't prepared because I was being called to a space where I didn't understand. And for me, being called meant standing in front of groups of people, doing things that are big. But sometimes being called means to be still. Sometimes being called means you need to be still and trust God and trust the process. To understand that in his time and he knows what he is doing. He needs to be trusted. Your faith needs to amplify, because at this point, there is no other escape except for like just trusting God and trusting the process and trusting that he did this knowing what he's going to have an outcome for you. So for me to want to share this story is because I know what abantu out there who are going through what I'm going through, whereby you find that there are people who are vilified just for having children. I mean, food. A single parent, right? So I just want to also like put out that awareness as a person. When you're speaking, be careful what you're saying, because we're all going through a lot. So if you could just be cautious of how you speak to other people, because you don't know life. You might not be a single parent at 25, but you might get married, be divorced, and be a single parent to 3 or 4 kids at 40. So be careful of what you say, and be careful what you say never to. So never say never. You don't know what's out. For me, my never was a never. I mean, I'm being outside of marital setup because to have one identity from the maternal side. Also, I always wanted my paternity from my maternal side because I wanted to know what's culture and traditions, but I never got that opportunity, and that's when I had to redefine myself and actually sit in my maternal identity. It's me. That's my mom, she's Nebele. My Tonga side of things, if life allows, I will discover it. But I'm not going to force things, Whatever that life is giving me and the universe to have a relationship with my paternal side of the family, I'm going to accept it. I'm getting to a point where I now hurt myself, where I dig myself deep into depression yet again, right? So I'm not saying, woo, I've healed. And this is self-diagnosed, guys. I'm not taking any medication or anything. It's self-diagnosed, whereby when I was reading up on depression, on anxiety, I was like, no, a lot of these symptoms are what I experienced on a daily. So ever since accepting on it, reading up on it, and seeing what is I got to start understanding what I have to work with my depression. When I feel down, allow myself to feel down. Investigate why I'm feeling down. Investigate why I'm anxious. Investigate why I'm not feeling all kinds of great. I'm not feeling confident about certain things. And now work with myself, my anxiety and my depression to say, how can we change it? How can I make it better for you, Pumi, so that we can be able to work together to move forward? By the way, I'm one to believe in reincarnation, and I believe in souls living in the physical body. So as a soul, I believe I'm very powerful, but I'm living in a physical body that's living to learn on a daily basis. So how can I live with this body that I live in to say, okay, when I'm Sabine as a body, what's your mandate with the family that you're chosen into, the friends that you have, the life that you have, the obstacles that you have, the opportunities that you have as a soul? How can I help you to drive to a point where I know I sign a soul contract with Sizofika corner together? I don't want to get deep. It's the wine, okay? So yeah, guys, that's about most of the things. I don't want to bore you guys. It's a very long chapter, as far as mental health is concerned, spirituality and all of that. If you guys are interested in a part 2, please do mention in the description box below, and I will definitely do a part 2 where we unpack it even more, because unzima to be mentally affected by something that brings so much joy. One thing about my son, he's the one person who loves me unconditionally. We can fight right now, but he will come back and lay on my chest. And the way in which he hugs me, the way in which he holds me, the way in which he addresses me, speaks to me, looks at me, you can see with it, this is unconditional love. And I guess that's the fear that I had of having someone love me so deep that what if I disappoint them? What if I don't meet up to his standards? What if I don't grace him to the best of his ability? But then I came to a point where I understood before Abba Inganyam, Ingan Kununkulu. So I have to give it up to God and understand that God is working and he will work it to the best of his ability. It's a Sunday. It's my birthday. I'm not going to depress y'all. I'm sure you guys are going to see it on a Monday. So if you're interested in a part 2, do mention in the comment section and I will happily, gladly do a part 2 in Tana guys. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel as a birthday gift. Just click on that subscribe button. Make sure you like, comment, and do the most. Phumzilechili maphosa mkatsane. Mfazi wamala bateno angeni koma ngavula vulisa mfazi msuthu kanalechili maphosa mkatsane. Kolongwane. Ayebo. Yes, when a man. Achoo! Bye, you guys.